Hi everybody, I just want to spend a few minutes sharing with you the key curriculum area that I'm choosing to address with this technology for assessment project. I'm focusing on my 5th grade students, and I want to make sure that the student assessment portion of our curriculum is addressed. And to do that, I'm trying to give them an opportunity to assess themselves and each other upon completion of one of their art projects, which is right here again in the New York State Learning Standards. They need to be able to interpret the work of their own and the work of others. So that's one of the anchor standards for New York State art. And it's also part of what they look for when I'm being assessed as a teacher in our rubrics. That the students are doing assessments that are specific to the learning targets, and the most effective teachers are doing assessments that are including the students themselves in the process. So I'm kind of keeping that in mind as I'm working through this process. So let me shoot over here to the OneNote online platform where I have started really digging into how I'm going to lay this out. OneNote Online is a user interface that's available to my students through their computers that they have at school. So it's allowed by the security patches on the system. It's something that they can use freely throughout the day, and if they take their laptops home, which they're allowed to do, they can also do it at home. OneNote Online is nice because it includes this collaboration space, which I had initially learned about through a lynda.com tutorial. And the collaboration space is going to provide a place for the students to analyze and interpret each other's artwork. I can post the artwork as the teacher, and then they can go in and perform specific duties. So I'll talk about those next. To get the artwork into the system, I actually physically took pictures of the artwork with my phone, and then I was able to take those photos, email them to myself through Google Drive, which is something I have through my own private email account, and then I was able to copy and paste those into my computer and then move them into the OneNote online format. And taking a picture of the artwork in my classroom was quick and easy today. I thought that might be a challenge to get those photos and get them into the computer, but it wasn't bad at all. So after I put them in here, I just organized them based on the project that they're working on. So under the collaboration space tab, the students, this is, will technically act like we're a student. They can go in to the FOIL Low Relief project, which is the one that we're currently working on. And when they get in there, they're reminded at the beginning about the art target. This is the what. What are we doing? We're making low relief. And this contains some of those vocabulary words that are fundamental to the lesson, like abstract and negative space. And the art target also unpacks those terms for the students to refer to. I also always include a little step-by-step so they can see where they came from and where they got to. And then eventually I'll have a tab for each student where their own artwork will be displayed. So Danielle, her design is right here. She did, it looks like a mermaid tail, she told me. So this is the belly and the belly button. And then these are the shapes that she created to make it look like her tail. And Jason did a different theme. He did sort of a football motif. So they'll find their artwork, and then what they're going to do is go into the content library. And in the content library, I have provided for the students a couple of important pieces of information. They're going to be able to refer to the elements and principles of design, which I shot a picture of what we have on our wall in the art room. So even if they're not in the room, they can go, oh, it's the thing that's on the wall. It's our art words. That's what I call them, our art words. And then they can go in and begin their art self-assessment, which I included a link to, and then there's also a full-page document where they can begin to assess themselves and their success or failure upon completing the artwork. And we have lots of different criteria, and then they can score it at the end. In addition to the art self-assessment, I have some critique guidelines, and they will also be asked to critique themselves and the artwork of another student. And this format will help them walk them through that process. And the format of describe, analyze, interpret, and judge is very much tied to the work that is done in the discipline-based art education background. This is like the nuts and bolts of what we learned in college, in Art Teacher College, for how to get kids to talk about artwork. So I have a link here, and this is in my paper, teaching students to critique, and this just breaks down exactly what we're doing when we're talking about art and how they can do that. So I have some kinks to work out. I have to sort of You know, make sure I can upload everybody's information into OneNote Online and make sure that they can easily get in here and start critiquing their own work. But they should be able to just right here next to the artwork, lay a critique down and, you know, be able to analyze and interpret each other's artwork. So that's the goal. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping by.